जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीरवनचारि, यमुना तीरवनचारि, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कलयुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 3, entitled as Hiranyakashipu's plan to become immortal. Verse number 18. Adrakshamahammetam te hitsaram hadbudham dansha bhakshita dehasya prana yasthishu sherate. Word to word translation. Adraksham, have personally seen. Aham, I. Etam, this. Te, your. Hitsaram, power of endurance. Mahat, very great. Adbhutam, wonderful. Damsha, bhaksita, eaten by worms and ants. Dehasya, whose body. Prana, the life air. He, indeed. Asthishu, in the bones. Sherate, is taking shelter. Translation. I have been very much astonished to see your endurance. In spite of being eaten and bitten by all kinds of worms and ants, you are keeping your life air circulating within your bones. Certainly, this is wonderful. purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. It appears that the soul can exist even through the bones, as shown by the personal example of Hiranyakashipu. When great yogis are in samadhi, even when their bodies are buried and their skin, marrow, blood, and so on have all been eaten, if only their bones remain, they can exist in a transcendental position. Very recently, an archaeologist published findings indicating that Lord Christ, after being buried, was exhumed and that he then went to Kashmir. There have been many actual examples of yogis being buried in trance and exhumed alive and in good condition several hours later. Yogi can keep himself alive in transcendental state even if buried, not only for many days, but for many years. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So I welcome you all in this Monday morning Bhagavatam class after the whole festive Sunday. So today we are reading from 7th canto and title is entitled as chapter 3rd is entitled as Hiranyakashipu's plan to become immortal. So this canto tells us about the science of God. So scene is going on that Hiranyakashipu is doing austerity to become immortal so that he don't have to quit this material body. So now after performing so much severe austerity for so many thousands of years, his austerity is fructified. Lord Brahma has appeared in front of him and he has sufficiently glorified Lord Brahma. So now, he is not glorified, but Lord Brahma is saying, Lord Brahma, after seeing Hiranyakashipu, he said to Hiranyakashipu that, O son of Kashyap Muni, please get up, please get up. All good fortune unto you. You are now perfect in the performance of your austerities, and therefore I may give you benediction. You may now ask from me whatever you desire, and I shall try to fulfill your wish. The most awaited moment for Hiranyakashipu, when he was asked to ask any benediction or any boon, where Brahma is pleased by his austerities and is ready to try to fulfill his wish. So, in glorification of Hiranyakashipu, Brahma is saying that he is very much astonished seeing the endurance of Hiranyakashipu. That for thousands of years he is sitting in a single place performing austerities, and when he's not moving even an inch, so what has happened? The parasites has taken shelter on his body. Even it is said that ants and worms have bitten his whole complete body, especially his skin and flesh. Everything is bitten. And what has remained? Only the skeleton, the bones. So what? So what is remained is only bones and his. And Satyavamrana. Satyavamrana. So what has remained is only bones, and they are the life air is circulating in the bones of Hiranyakashipu. And certainly this is wonderful, because as we have seen that even any small part of the body is damaged, it becomes very difficult to sustain the life. What to speak of sustaining life? Even if a small cut is there on our body, we panic so much, we are in so much trouble, we cry, we are disturbed, and it's normal for us. But Hiranyakashipu, what to speak of a single cut, what to speak of a single injury, his whole body's flesh was eaten up by ants and worms. And still he was sustaining his life. So certainly this is wonderful. So in purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying that it appears that the soul can exist even through the bones, as shown by the personal example of Hiranyakashipu, that soul can exist even through the bones. Because ultimately, if we see that soul is really, it's immortal. Soul never dies. Soul is always alive. And here, by the personal example of Hiranyakashipu, we can see that soul can exist even through the bones. And further, Srila Prabhupada says that when great yogis are in samadhi, even when their bones are buried and their skin, marrow, blood, and so on have all been eaten, if only their bones remain, they can exist in a transcendental position. So, great yogis. So this is the power of their sadhana. This is the power of their Ashtang Yoga which they perform. Ashtachakra Yoga. That when they are in samadhi and even their bodies are buried and their skin, marrow, blood, and so on all have been eaten. Even if their bones remain, they can exist in a transcendental position. Means externally it appears that they are dead. Why? Because only bones are visible. Flesh, marrow, blood, skin are not there. So practically, scientifically, through this material science, if we call any doctor, any scientist and say that the blood circulation has stopped in the body, there's a brain hemorrhage, there's a heart attack, so then they immediately declare, means the person is dead. Why? There is no blood circulation. But in this case, we can see practically there is no skin left, no blood circulation, no marrow, no flesh, nothing. And still, the person is alive, living through, soul is there through, living through bones. So externally it appears that person is dead, no more, because no blood is, no heart is pumping, no, there is no pumping of heart, there is no exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, person is not breathing, there is no life here, it seems that there is no life here, person is not inhaling, not exhaling, but that it seems that person may be died or person may be dead. But Srila Prabhupada says that the person, the soul is still living. This is the example of Hiranyakashipu, but we can see various other examples of also in today's world also. The person who is practicing this kind of yoga, he becomes qualified to do all these things. And there are many in today's date also that they can perform these things. For example, Srila Prabhupada is giving in this Popan only that very recently an archaeologist published findings indicating that Lord Christ, after being buried, was exhumed and that he then went to Kashmir. That when Jesus Christ was buried, so means when a person is buried, he is dead. Because when a person is buried, means he is buried under the ground. The ground is dig, digging the ground. The dead body of that person is put into that ditch, and then from over there, it is filled with the mud. So there is no chance of breathing at all. But still, it is said, Srila Prabhupada is saying that person is alive. Jesus Christ, when he was exhumed, later on went to Kashmir. So that means that yes, for a person like us, breathing is very necessary. We need oxygen for sustaining our life. But for a yogi who is in samadhi, in transcendental state, oxygen is not necessary for him. So after when he was exhumed and he went to Kashmir, the Jesus Christ. And there have been many actual examples of yogis being buried in trance and exhumed alive and in good conditions several hours later. Even today also we see in various parts of the world there are samadhis of these yogis, certain yogis who are being said that they are still there. Externally it may seem that there is a statue, that the person don't move, but still we can see there is a growth in their hair, there is a growth in their nails. There are various examples you must have heard in the news or somewhere. This happens. Even many months back I was hearing a class of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and he was telling his own example in the class, that when he was in New Vrindavan in America, so there was a yogi who came there and he performed many mystical feats, and later on he told to everyone that now I will die. How I will die? He said that for half an hour, for 30 minutes, I will presume as a dead person. You may call any doctor, you may check my pulse, you may check my breathing, but later on after half an hour, I will come alive. Okay. So everyone was quite astonished, like Brahma is here. And literally, that person just acted as a dead person. Doctors came, checked his pulse, no pulse rate. Checked his breathing even by putting cotton, no exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen. That person is dead. So now everyone was worried what to do with this dead body. Should we bury this body? Should we cremate this body? Or should we flow this body into the river? What to do? But his assistant was there, so just wait for more minutes. Let the 30 minutes complete. The 30 minutes was complete, 30 minutes got over, this person came again alive. And everyone was joyful and amazed and astonished. Wow. What a great magic here it is. So these are great, wonderful feats which yogi can do. But point is, what is achieved through this wonderful feats? A yogi can keep himself alive in transcendental state even if buried not only for many days but for many years. This is, you can say, if materially we see that it seems a very wonderful thing. Wow, we can't do this, but a yogi can do this, and yogi can do various other things because he has that special skills, special power. Point is, do we want those things? Do we want that special powers that we can also sustain even if there is no flesh, blood, and marrow and skin on our body? Why do we want that thing? Krishna has given us such a beautiful body, a beautiful opportunity that through this body we can render such a wonderful service to Krishna. In that state, a person is presuming dead in a samadhi, just meditating. He has not that opportunity to serve Krishna directly. So a person who is in devotional service, a person who is a bhakta of the Supreme Lord Krishna, he does not want all these siddhis and special powers. He just want to simply serve the Lord. Yesterday we saw how in a glorious way, in a festive way, we celebrated the Pushpa Abhishek of Shishi Jagannath Baldev and Subhadramani. Such a treat to the eyes. So this is really astonishing. This is really wonderful to serve the Lord. Yes, Brahma was saying that he was astonished to see the austerities of Hiranyakashipu. That's great, but more greater, you can say greater than that is, and this you can even say the greatest thing in this world is to serve the Lord. It's because if we ask Krishna, he is not pleased with all those austerities and all those penances and all those special powers. Because all the special powers and ability to perform those austerities and penance was given by Krishna alone. But when a person, a devotee is trying to serve the Lord, he is expressing his free will. Yes, Krishna, I want to serve you. He is surrendering to the Lord. He is coming more close to Krishna. And that Krishna likes very much. That Krishna appreciates. So we don't need all these special skills because neither we have time nor ability to get those things in this age. We just have to express our free will. Krishna, I just want to serve you. Whatever I have, whatever abilities, skills I have in this body, through my mind, through my words, I just want to serve. Whatever little I have. That is, we say in Hindi, tan, man and dhan se seva karna. Yesterday, various devotees here in temple hall plucked the flower petals with very much devotion because they know at the end of the day these flower petals only will be showered on our merciful beloved Lord. And really everyone enjoyed so much seeing the dear lordships being showered with those colorful and fragrant flower petals which they themselves plucked in the morning. So really, this is wonderful. Because for our selfish enjoyment, for our fulfillment of greedy motives, we are ready to go to any extent, to suffer to any extent. We are even ready to harm ourselves if we have to, if our greedy needs are to be fulfilled. That's not a great thing. The great thing is, are we ready to suffer? Are we ready to take pains for the pleasure of the Lord, not for our ego? And yesterday I saw devotees were serving so enthusiastically, they were so enduring that they were not even concerned about whether their sleep is complete, whether they got food or not, they got water or not. From morning till night, they were serving continuously. Why? Only one reason, that they want to serve Krishna and his devotees. And when Krishna is pleased, devotees are pleased, genuine devotee is happy. So that's our motive. We just want to please the Lord and his devotees through our endeavor, and that is the real endurance through which Krishna will be astonished, Krishna will be pleased. Yes, this is my devotee who is ready to sacrifice his own greeds, his own wishes to fulfill my wish, to give pleasure to my wish, to please me. So here we are seeing that Hiranyakashipu is troubling himself to achieve something mortal, to get boons and benefits, benedictions from Lord Brahma for his material greeds. To the contrary, there is a devotee like Prahlad Maharaj who is ready to go to any trouble, to go through any trouble, and ready to endure for the pleasure of Krishna, for the pleasure of devotees. So we will stop here. So, moral of the today's class is that we just have to express our free will to the Supreme Lord, that I just want to serve you. I don't need any special skills. Yes, if I do have something, I will engage that thing only again in service of Krishna for his pleasure. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada